How about now, UK Neil? Do you hear sound now? Hmm. We'll give him a second. We'll see if we hear anything.
Does he want me to sing? Some say love, it is the river. Remember that?
Let's see.
That's all.
Oh, I see clapping from and I can hear sound now. So don't know what the heck
Okay.
is going on. It's a little issue with D Live in the last couple of days here. Every time we start to stream, it won't go on. It says fail. Then it goes on, and then something weird happens, and I don't know exactly what's going on, but I'll have to dig into it a little bit. It's just D Live that seems to be having that issue. So,
Okay.
yeah, or it could be restream. I'll have to look into that. Make sure it's not restream. Maybe there's an update or something that didn't automatically come through. Sometimes it happens. Okay. So, where were we? How are you, Sandra? Welcome back. There we go.
Thank you. I had a wonderful Easter.
Mm.
I got to be with my kiddos. I loved it. Good dinner. I actually was able to cook the whole thing. So I was really happy about that. Uh, you know, having to get back into shape since the whole episode. So that I was really grateful for. Like I was able to start to finish by myself. So that was awesome. And then when you think about like we're all still alive, we're still breathing, we still got friends around us. I hope we're all being good to our neighbors. You know, it's going good. It's going good. God is so good.
Oh, good.
I
Glad to
can't.
hear that.
Yes,
Well, you sent me a video, and I don't know who this gentleman is, but Dr. Rashid A. Battar. Am I saying that right?
I think so.
It's
I'm not going to pronounce anything.
it says huge news. Surgeon General Jerome Adams drops Gates CDC WHO model.
Yes,
Uh, let's play this and see what it's all about.
very
Past
exciting.
midnight
I'm sorry, what was that?
I'm sorry. I was like, very exciting.
Oh, okay, we'll see.
on the East Coast, but the most incredible thing has happened, and I just have to share it with you guys right now. So I'm going live.
That was his picture. When you see it come up and it's all squiggly like that, that was his picture. So wasn't me.
Live on
Oh,
Facebook
okay.
and YouTube and Instagram. And I was trying to do this earlier on. There was all sorts of things that created problems, and we weren't able to go live on Facebook where we normally have 2,000, 25.
See, there's a lot of people having issues all of a sudden trying to stream live. I tried to catch James R the other day and it just kept shutting off. Finally, I gave up and watched the replay today.
Yeah, because everybody is zooming. You know,
Well, he
like
wasn't zooming.
everyone.
It wasn't a
Huh?
Zoom. It wasn't his Zoom, and I know it wasn't my internet. But he kept cutting. His scope kept stopping, and then
Right.
a minute later it'd restart. It stopped. 30 seconds later it'd restart. It just kept doing that over and over. And finally, I gave up.
So do you think it's just the internet? Like there's so many people on it now, or do you think they're playing with our internet?
Well, he was on Periscope, so that could be playing with the internet. That's possible. By the way, before we keep going, we got some people out in the D Live and Periscope. I can't see, but I see Russ in Periscope. But UK Neil, don't forget to watch
What's
UK
up?
Neil. UK Neil, The Great Awakening. He's usually on Sundays at 5 p.m. Eastern, I think it is. But he's been scoping a lot more lately, so make sure you check out UK Neil on D Live. David,
Everybody's going to D Live.
there's David 6661369. I think everybody's going to D Live because Periscope, like my Periscope chat, almost never works, so I don't bother going over there anymore. It's too frustrating.
Right.
It's frustrating because you want to chat, but you can't. You don't. I mean, I can type something, but I don't even know if somebody even saw it.
True.
David 666-1369, Regina P. Thank you for the diamond, Neil. Don't forget, watch UK Neil on D Live. All right, where were we?
We also have Susan Costello and Arthur Blake. They're in our Periscope world.
Oh, good.
And say hi to us if we can't really see. I don't see chat or anything in Periscope. If someone writes something, I could see it.
After we get through this video here from this doctor, we're going to get into a little bit of the title of the show, Enemy of the People, and you probably can guess what that is. Yeah, because yesterday, I don't know who that woman, Mrs. Reed, so-called journalist Reed is, but we'll get into that.
Oh, I can't wait. I've been keeping my mouth shut all day just so I could blabber it on the show.
All righty. Let's get back to this video here.
500 people. We didn't have that because it just wasn't working. Now it seems like everything's working. YouTube's working. But here's the most amazing thing. I cannot believe this has happened. It is the most incredulous thing. So let me just share it with you guys. I can't share it with you guys on Instagram. I'll just have to tell you about it. But for Facebook and for YouTube people, this is what it's all about. It's already working. People are already responding. And I want you guys to see this. Okay. This is unbelievable. This was just released by, I don't even know which station this was, Major Plans. It's actually about the Surgeon General. Excuse me for that, guys. Sorry about that. All right, it says, in a stunning turn of events, Surgeon General, this was just released a couple of hours ago, I guess. I must have been on my live stream, so I wasn't even aware of it. And there's a picture of, here, I'll just show you guys from Instagram. You can see that the picture of President Trump with a smile on his face, and the Surgeon General. He just looks like such a stud standing there, but listen to what he said. All right, I'm just going to read this off to you guys. I am so unbelievably excited right now. In a stunning change, major plans to reopen, U.S. Surgeon General Adams dumps Gates' predictive contagion model. All right, so they've basically taken the contagion model and they've dumped it. And it says, in a stunning turn of events, Surgeon General Jerome Adams, Jerome Adams explained in an interview on Live XM Radio that the coronavirus task force has effectively dumped Bill Gates, the Centers for Disease Control, and the World Health Organization predictive contagion model, and is now working with the real data. Let me repeat that for you guys. For everybody that didn't hear that. I'm going to say it again. The Surgeon General, in a stunning turn of events, Surgeon General Jerome Adams explained in an interview on Live XM Radio that the coronavirus task force has effectively dumped the Bill Gates, Centers for Disease Control, and the World Health Organization predictive contagion model, and is now working with the real data. He explained on Sirius XM Breitbart News host Alex Marlowe that given the new data, businesses will begin to reopen as early as May, others in June. As early as May, we're already open and we're going to continue to be open. This runs contrary to the out of fear mongering of Dr. Fauci and Bill Gates, who have made a media tour threatening the public that businesses may not reopen for 6 months to a year or unless governments purchase the conveniently patented big pharma vaccinations. According to Adams, what the American people need to know is we actually have data, and so we're tracking that data. Before his about face, which appears to have come as an order from the Trump administration, and in consultation with the findings of Dr. Adams, the task force was working with predictive models which have been created by the Bill Gates dominated World Health Organization. And
so this leads me to believe that Trump and his task force last night knew this, but the media did not, because they don't actually do their jobs, the media.
Correct.
So they knew this. They knew that the World Health Organization's data and Bill Gates' models are all completely flawed and based on hysterical numbers that I don't know where they came up with. What was it? 2 million people were going to die in the U.S.?
Yeah, you know where Bill got them from? He went in the bathroom and took a dump. I'm sorry, Phil. Because he's just making that shit up.
Now, I will say this, that in some states, like New York, for instance, may be closed longer than May 1st. And that's a possibility, and that's fine. But why do you need states like Arkansas, Oklahoma shut down? I mean, it's insane.
Right. Yeah. It's almost like, my thinking, like, say Huntsville, Alabama, that's the South. Well, Huntsville is a city. So people are very active, the transportation, all that there. But the South, is it as city-like, or is it more rural, where those people the mills can open up, the different things? I think it should be according to the population and the numbers of who is actually sick in that area. Because it seems like the cities are more effective because you're in a closer space.
Well, I'm not near the city, and New York State's a fairly large state, but you may have to keep the entire state shut down because people, move between New York City to Syracuse. I mean, there's people driving all over the place, so you may have to keep the entire state shut down and ask people to.
I think the whole tri-state, because everybody, people travel from Jersey to New York to work, into Maryland. I think it's all Connecticut. It's all connected in a very, so I think you're right. They'll have to keep the tri-states, I think. That's what I really think, just for protection.
Now, Maine, you could probably let Maine skate out of that because I haven't heard a lot about Maine having an issue. But nonetheless, it looks like this entire shutdown could have been avoided if we didn't listen to the World Health Organization and Bill Gates.
Yes, Bill Gates is a fraud.
So I'm still trying to find out where he got his degree in microbiology. I'm still trying to find that information.
Oh, you will not find that information.
Of course not. Let's continue on with this. And notice, did in the chat out there, did anybody hear this story on the media? On the radio, anywhere besides this gentleman from what we're showing on YouTube right now? I haven't heard this story. I didn't even hear Rush talk about it. I haven't heard a thing about this. That's how dishonest we have for our media. That's how dishonest and grossly negligent the U.S. media is today.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to sing a lot of no's. Nobody knew about this story. I'll admit it. I didn't know it until you sent it, until we're watching it right now.
And the Centers for Disease Control. Dr. Fauci's control over the CDC has been criticized in the past for its for-profit motive in the handling of ranges of illnesses from HIV to H1N1. Dude, I'm telling you guys, this is the biggest thing that's happened in this whole movement. We are now locked in step barrel. I mean, this is the biggest news. So guys, now is the momentum. Everything that we've been saying, everything I've been saying, everything the other doctors have been saying, the ones that have been not fear-mongering, the ones that are saying fear-mongering, stay in your houses, stay 13 feet away from yourself. That's the kind of BS that they just, I can't even justify them, because if they had any scientific integrity, or if they had one freaking synapse, meaning that they were one neuron short of a synapse, they would have never said that, because everything they were saying was just not based on science. Now, thank God, the Surgeon General, and no matter what you say about President Trump, he's just shown that they are moving in the right direction. So this is fantastic news for the country. It's fantastic news for the world, and for the rest of the people out there that had their heads so far up. You know what? Tell them that they should never, ever, ever allow themselves to be fear motivated like this. The truth is the truth, and to jaded with misinformation and the hype that the media's put out there, and Fauci's model and Gates's model. This is so exciting. So listen, guys, I'm not going to keep on belaying the point, but pass this on, pay it forward, let the world know this is happening, because the Gates CDC Fauci model has just been dropped on its head and cracked open like a rotten egg. I'm so happy right now. Pay it forward, pass it on. Love you guys.
He forgot this part.
Donald Trump don't trust China. China is asshole.
Yes, indeed.
So, interesting.
Yes. I actually sent you a meme in our room, and it talks about Bill Gates. You know, he owns vaccine companies. You know what I'm saying? He had the right when this started happening, you know, people were researching. They found that he had the patent to the corona. Like, you know, and people, it's hard because people look at me like I'm crazy, but so many people just want to accept the news as it's given, and no one's willing to look past what they're being told. And people need to wake up and realize it's time to move past what they're shoving down our throats, because it's all controlled, and the majority of it, I'll say 95% of it, and I'm talking about the television, I think it's a lot of lies. We have to dig deeper. Don't be satisfied, you know?
Well, I got something. That's okay. No, you're fine. I'm just looking for
more concerned right now with the flu in this
I'm just looking for the next video.
All right, do you want to talk about that chick?
Why don't we show this first?
Okay.
I got a video from Donald Trump.
Oh, all right. Let's see it.
People should be more concerned right now with the flu in this country.
A lot of people are concerned about the coronavirus because they're hearing a lot of news about it right now. But the reality is, comparing it to the flu, for example, it's not even close to being at that stage.
What if it is worse? Is this a moment where maybe countries put politics aside, a little bit of pride aside, and do we have U.S. officials? Should U.S. professionals such as yourself get involved?
How worried should Americans be about coronavirus?
Coronavirus is not going to cause a major issue in the United States.
Well, we've asked them to accelerate whatever they're doing in terms of a vaccine.
We will be suspending all travel from Europe to the United States for the next 30 days.
To unleash the full power of the federal government in this effort today, I am officially declaring a national emergency. Medicare patients can now visit any doctor by phone or video conference at no additional cost.
The first 1 million masks will be available immediately.
As there were more cases, and it was clear that it was spreading out of China, where it originated, the president took this move that he was widely criticized for by Democrats and even some Republicans at the time, which was he halted a number of flights from China into the U.S. The idea was to halt the spread of the disease, keep transmissions to a minimum. He was accused of xenophobia. He was accused of making a racist move. At the end of the day, it was probably effective, because it did actually take a pretty aggressive measure against the spread of the virus.
His team is on it. They've been responsive late at night, early in the morning, and they've thus far been doing everything that they can do. And I want to say thank you, and I want to say that I appreciate it.
Oh, I hate that guy.
He reaches out. He's been proactive. We got that Mercy ship down here in Los Angeles. That was directly because he sent it down here. 2,000 medical units came to the state of California, these FMS, these field medical stations. And that's been very, very helpful.
The president has been outstanding through all this. The vice president's been outstanding. Members of the coronavirus task force, very responsive.
We had asked if we could have, New Jersey could have access to a piece of the beds that are on the USNS Comfort, and the president came back, called me a short few minutes before I walked in here to say indeed they would grant that to New Jersey. So that's a big step for us in addition to all the other capacity. That news is literally hot off the press, and I thank the president and vice president who are on the call together.
President Trump approved Arizona's request for a presidential major disaster declaration. I want to thank the president for a quick turnaround. We requested this on a Wednesday, and we had approval by Saturday morning. And we are grateful to the administration for their continued support and responsiveness.
Well, first of all, I want to thank the president and the vice president for doing a really good job of communicating with all the governors.
So there you go. But it wasn't soon enough. They wanted last night. Let's talk about her. Let's get that stupid.
Wait, can I just say one thing?
Mm-hmm.
Maggie, whose voice was that whole thing, really hates the Republican Party and the right side of politics. So I find it hilarious that it was her voice reading all that.
I don't think she so much hates Republicans as she loathes Donald Trump. She hates Donald Trump with a passion.
She does. Totally does. But I thought, man, that was wonderful. I'm sorry, I had to take a sip of my coffee. But yes, I mean, I was like, check that out. I was laughing. Okay, go ahead to where you were going.
So, can't remember now.
Okay.
Oh, we were going to talk about Mrs. Reed there, who thinks she's a reporter. What a sorry display of journalism. It was just, I don't even have words for it. I've never seen anything like that in my life.
First of all, her husband, from other people researching and me researching the researchers on Twitter, her husband is a lobbyist for China. And I think one of the things coming out of this whole virus, which I think is really freaking amazing, is people are seeing how reliant we are on China. China is in America and trying to destroy us from within. So if her husband is lobbying, my question is, does she actually get paid extra for being a bigger cheek than normal? Like every time she goes against him, does she get an extra $5,000 in her pocket? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing. Like I've found, all the different shutting down. And I said this Saturday night, I'm going to say it again tonight. I'm sure you've seen, I've been putting on my tweets. Pompeo spoke about governors being in bed with China. The governors are showing us who they are. People need to pay attention. And you've got CNN that's sitting here with that news conference yesterday talking about Trump so angry and all these different things. No, I didn't see him as angry. I saw him as punching back because the whole weekend, were lying on him. They're trying to do an impeachment thing on him again because of this virus. And what he did is he stood up for himself and all our votes that were behind him. And people are like, he's losing his mind. I had one friend say some bull crap to me, and it gets to a point in some ways, like they're sitting here showing you the lie, the straight up, like this is what you saw all weekend, and President Trump is showing you what everyone said, and you're calling him a liar because he's showing you your lies. Did I say that right? Do you understand what I'm saying, Phil?
Yep, I sure do.
It's driving me crazy. Why isn't that alone waking people up? Why? What is going on? What is wrong with these people?
Well, that reporter, so-called reporter, because I don't think she's a journalist. I think she's just a plain old activist playing journalist right now. In one breath, she complains to Donald Trump that he didn't close the country soon enough, and in the next breath says there's 20 million people unemployed. Well, you got to be kidding me. You just tried to put him in a box where, and how many times does Trump have to explain at the press conference, we didn't have one single COVID case until January 20th. You wanted me to shut down the country on January 1st? For what? Yeah. I mean, these people are insane. And these governors that you just spoke about, the only reason Meg Whitman, I think her name is Meg Whitman, in Michigan is preventing you from buying seeds or paint or anything to fix up your house is to decimate the Michigan economy and blame it on Trump. Because what the hell does buying seeds, a lawnmower, charcoal, paint for your house have to do with a damn virus? Nothing.
Nothing.
But she's preventing you from buying it.
Is China telling her to do that? Like, this is just a side note.
I'm not even going to go that we don't know.
Yeah.
The only thing I know is she's blocking things from being purchased. And the only reason that we have right now is that it's to really decimate the Michigan economy. Because remember, Michigan, Donald Trump won Michigan, which he was not supposed to do. And number two, Donald Trump has brought back a lot of auto manufacturing back to Michigan, which he was not supposed to do. So her whole purpose is to decimate everybody in Michigan, make them feel the pain so that she can come out and blame him and say, you got to vote for Joe. That's the only logical reason to do this.
That is so gross.
That's got to be what it is.
That sentence. Phil, I forbid you to ever say that sentence again.
Well, that's exactly what she's doing.
Yes.
Because why? Why block people from planting a garden, for God's sakes? It has nothing to do with the virus.
Yeah, and you're making people feel worse because the thing is they could be taking this time to actually clean up their house, to make it look good, do things they haven't done in a long time, clean the closets out, all these different things people could be doing. And she's putting holds because she doesn't want anything good to come out of this. Shame on her. There's that thing called the Trump curse. And I'm telling you right now, that's going to come back and bite her in the bum.
And it's not just her. There are some red states doing this crap too. And people need to wake up and kick these people the hell out. Seriously, they need to go.
Yeah. I concur.
See, if Michigan does really well economically, Trump will more than likely take Michigan again, and the Democrats can't afford that. They need this guy, Dementia Joe, to be president so they can install whoever the hell else is in charge, really, because Joe's not going to be, Joe gets elected president, he's not going to be president. Someone else is going to be doing it for him. While Joe's dribbling in the corner, drooling, dreaming of the good old days. Right?
Man. Yeah. Yes.
I mean, Joe doesn't know where the hell he is now, and he can't finish a simple sentence without stumbling, bumbling, forgetting what he was talking about. That guy wants to be president?
Yeah, well, okay, let's be honest. We have to be honest, okay? This is, and I don't know where I heard this from. It's not my own thinking, but it totally makes sense. Joe isn't really trying for presidency. He's just the face of it. What's going to happen after all this is said and done? They're going to slip in the VP. And that's going to be the person that's taking over. So,
well, he said as much. He said he won't finish out his term. He said it in a speech. He's at a campaign rally. He said, "I'm not going to be able to finish out my term, so I have to have a good, strong vice president." What? You're running for president for 4 years, not for 6 months, and then my vice president takes over. Are you nuts?
Yeah, I'm telling you. It's and that there alone too should wake people up. Like, I don't understand why there are people, and I'm only saying this because I have a friend that I talk to. She is not understanding what's going on. Then I have another friend who doesn't understand what's going on. And I cannot wrap my head around why people are not waking up to what is really going on.
Here's the honest reason. Too many people are still listening to the mainstream media. It's what it is. I mean, it just is what it is. It's frustrating, but they are still listening to the mainstream media.
What's it going to take, Phil?
What do you get?
What is it going to take?
What do you get on your radio? All you get is mainstream media, whether it be Fox, CBS, NBC, ABC. That's all you get on your radio, right? There is no independent media on the radio. So if you're listening to news on the radio, that's all you're getting is mainstream media. People forget about that. They also forget that people are still watching NBC, whether you like it or not. They're still watching NBC, ABC, and CBS. That's where they get their news from.
Yeah.
And Fox News is no better, except for the shows after 8 o'clock, I guess.
You know what? It's disgusting, and it's true. I like Tucker. I do. Truth is, I don't watch Fox anymore either. What I do is I go to the Twitter and I research the people that have researched, and I look at all their proofs. They just give us the map, and I read all that stuff and I take it for myself, because, and here's where I'm lucky. I'm lucky because I have the time to do that. That's the problem. We're up until now, we've been at a point where people don't have time to research because they're out there, they're hustling, they're bustling, they're trying to make that bacon to come home, make some dinner, spend a minute with your kids, go to bed, and start all over again. They don't have time to look past, So I think President Obama, he allowed the propaganda to continue. I believe President Trump needs to do something. I don't know if he's going to do it after the election, after we win back the House, because we need the House and the Senate, and we need to get a lot of stuff straightened out. A lot. It is so important, and again, we need to vote red. Hold your breath, go down the ticket, and just do it, please, so we can get some things done in America that need to be done.
That's right. Unfortunately, it's going to be a fight, because I'll tell you, there are dopes on Twitter, lots of dopes on Twitter, saying that this is great. They're protecting us. So a guy running on the beach, I actually saw replies. People applauding the cops chasing down a guy by himself jogging on the beach, applauding it and wanting him to go to jail. What the hell's wrong with it? This is not America anymore. Yeah. Because these are brainwashed dolts that have no clue about the founding of the country, don't have any clue about the history of the country, because they went to public school. Then they went to college. I'm telling you, some of the most ignorant fools on Twitter put their, I have a degree.
Yeah.
You know what? You should just use that as toilet paper when you can't find any, because that's all it's worth. That's all it's worth. I mean, come on. My father didn't go to college, and he had people with master's degrees asking him how to do things because they didn't have a clue. My father said, "What did you do in college for 6 years to get a master's degree?"
Take a test. Memorize, take a test.
Yeah, I had to take sociology and learn about the environment and how we're wrecking Mother Earth. I mean, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
What a bunch of dopes.
I concur.
Well,
I can't even argue with you, Phil.
Let's put up a little video we got here now.
Okay.
And then we got a funny video.
Yes, we need funny.
We got a funny one for the end.